We are back at our favorite little town in southeast Utah, Moab. This year we are out here with the Jeep brand for the 60th anniversary of the Easter Jeep Safari. I'm Fred, this is my buddy Dave, this is Hurricane. We're gonna do some awesome stuff this week.
First things first, we're gonna kick it off with some trail maintenance out on Fins and Things. It is an iconic slick rock trail. People come to Moab just for it. Last year we did some split rail fencing. This year I guess it's T-posts and wire.
And we did get here a little early last weekend so we could have a quick conversation with George, who's the president of the Red Rock Four Wheelers. He was telling us all about just the history and the heritage behind the Easter Jeep Safari and all of the cool stories that he's got. So we gotta hit the trail this morning though, so we're gonna get going.
To me, it's more than just an event and just an organization. It's really part of my family. My father was the founder of Red Rock Four Wheelers. He was a local uranium geologist that started out in the oil and gas field. Of course, he's from this area. My grandfather was a geophysicist in this area for oil companies. So the connection here is huge. And then the event itself is, to me, really personal because it's a culmination of my father's history that set off the Red Rock Four Wheelers that now organize the event.
This event was started originally by the Chamber of Commerce, correct? And
Yes.
then it was passed over to you guys. What year did that happen?
So they started organizing the first Jeep Safari in about 1966. And the first one, which is the first annual, is 1967. Started as a one-day event on Saturday where people would literally show up Saturday morning, sign up for the trail and go out on the trail with their leader or leaders. When we started to get involved as an organization, it was about 3 or 4 trails, and then we built that up to what it is today, the Red Rock Four Wheelers did. And now we're over 9 days with over 44 trails, and then 2.5 people per vehicle at 25 to 30 rigs per trail.
All right, trail math.
Yes, trail math. That's
Yeah, well, it's certainly been proven that Moab and the trails we see during Easter Jeep Safari are the ultimate test of a Jeep vehicle. What about Moab is so unique that provides that challenge?
One of the things that Moab is known for is the uranium boom, right? So we have Charlie Steen. So what did Charlie Steen pick to go out and explore these hills and look for uranium? He had a flat fender Willys. So
Good choice.
It kind of goes hand in hand, and I think Jeep vehicles represent that freedom of adventure and exploration, and not just recreational exploration, but exploration. And we saw that in World War II and the way that those vehicles were used, and that kind of comes back to the founding of Easter Jeep Safari. A lot of those guys were returned GIs from World War II. They had experience with Jeep vehicles, so what are they going to drive to go out and explore these hills? Of course it's going to be a Jeep vehicle.
Have you been out here before?
This is actually the first time. So I've been off-roading many times. I've been on the Rubicon Trail, but this is the first time at Moab, first time at Easter Jeep Safari.
What happens here is you have a really cool trail, right? It's been established for years. Sometimes the ledges and stuff get a little bit worn out over time.
People venture off the beaten path a little bit, yes. So we're here to try to keep them on the trail. That preserves it. So yeah, giving back to the community like this, I mean, there's like 1 million acres that is all public land that they have here. So keeping us on the trails, making it accessible for enthusiasts like the Jeep owners.
Heck yeah.
It's giving back to the community, it's great.
This is a big year for both the Jeep brand and for Easter Jeep Safari.
Absolutely. Our 85th anniversary is the Jeep brand, the 60th anniversary of Easter Jeep Safari, and it's amazing to see what this event has turned into. I used to come out here all the time as a kid, and it was small, it was fun, it was awesome for people that loved it, but now you see it and it's 40,000 people descend on the city of Moab all at once, and Jeep vehicles all over the place. It's really incredible to see.
It's such an awesome place to come and visit, and getting to come every year for Easter Jeep Safari is one of my highlights of the year. And it's great that the brand is out here showing cool new concepts, having people driving the vehicles, and also being out doing great stuff for the trails.
Moab is kind of like our church.
Yeah, it is. I totally feel the same way. This is where we all gather, right? This is our time of year to do it, and to see all of them out here is cool. Do you think we're doing a good job with the fences today? Are we killing it? Are we slacking?
Yeah, I think they're going way faster than any of us thought they would.
Hurricane, have you ever seen this Jeep before?
I haven't seen this specific one.
Have you ever been up here?
I haven't.
So, pretty cool story. This is Charlie Steen's Willys flat fender that he used when he discovered uranium in the Moab area.
A big long time ago.
Yeah, in 1950s, the government was giving out $10,000 to anybody that could find uranium in America that they could start mining for nuclear power and Cold War stuff. So he was a geologist and he was living out in this area with his wife and I think 3 kids. And he was tooling around, drilling into the ground, and they found uranium. And now this restaurant behind us, the Sunset Grill, used to be his house because he instantly became an overnight millionaire.
He lived here?
He lived here. He started this enormous uranium boom. And in the 1950s, Moab was just like a little cow town, and it turned into this like gold mine for uranium. In fact, if you go downtown Moab, there's a building and it's called the Uranium Building. And there's this entire history of uranium in Moab. And this is the Jeep that he drove around when he discovered it. If you come during Easter Jeep Safari, there's a ton of guys running around in these historic flat fenders.
Some of those guys would kill to get this thing and get it back on the road.
Oh yeah, this is like gold.
Yeah. It's pretty complete. Still has a flathead in it.
It wouldn't take much to get this back on the trail.
I doubt it. Yeah, this thing's cool.
If you come to dinner up here at the Sunset Grill, you can park right here. You can see this Jeep as you walk inside, and there's also a ton of cool artifacts inside.
It's another fun morning here at the 60th annual Easter Jeep Safari, and we are doing all things EJS. I really wanted to make it a point to chat with someone who has grown up coming here, doing all the off-road things. I'm here with Lindsay Bryce of the Red Rock Four-Wheelers. Girl, you are 20 years old, right? And you're out
21.
Here doing trail runs today. What are you doing here with the Red Rock Four-Wheelers?
So with the Red Rock Four-Wheelers, I am a mid-gunner on the first timers experience with Roger Peck. So this is my 3rd year, I believe, helping him put this little package on and loving it every year.
Well, I love this. I love seeing you out here. I know you've definitely earned your keep here. You've got your jacket, right? How many years did you?
I've had my jacket for a long time.
That's awesome.
My mom and my dad have been doing this for a long time. My mom isn't able to come very often, and so my dad was able to kind of get me a jacket because I've been helping him for so long. And then I got this windbreaker last year and just love it every year. Every year I'm adding to them.
That's awesome. It's certainly an honor, but we hope you have fun out on the trail today, and thanks for chatting with me.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Go. Yeah, there you go. Keep going.
This is a pretty big ledge. We've been out here and struggled on this in some really short wheelbase vehicles before. The Jeep Gladiator is exactly what this obstacle is made for. This thing should walk right up it as well. Might need a little bump though. Oh, drives right up it. Crushing it.
We're having an awesome time at the 60th Easter Jeep Safari. We got to do some trail maintenance. We saw a really cool old Jeep. We did some four-wheeling, played in the dunes, and now we're grilling out. Oh, heck yeah. Jeep invited us to a very special event tonight, and they said they have some cool surprises for us.
There's a big wooden box out back that I guarantee you there is a rig inside and something under a cover.
Yeah, in my experience, a big wooden box normally means that Jeep is about to unveil one of their 12 for 12 initiatives, which is just a fun way of saying a new fun trim package where they will mix and match interior and exterior packages to get you the most fun ride possible. So let's go see what Jeep has up their sleeve tonight.
Plus, in my experience, Jeep usually feeds us really well. Let's go have some dinner.
All right.
Let's top those trail burgers, huh?
Impossible.
We have some tricks up our sleeves, some surprises for you.
This is the trail-rated Cherokee.
These guys protect hundreds of trails, thousands of miles, and they do it with their own vehicles. Well, we've got a little something for them that we're gonna leave behind.
We as a Jeep brand would like to officially give this vehicle to the Red Rock four-wheelers.
People resonated, especially my fellow 80s and 90s babies. They resonated, the colors, the capability. We said, wow, all right, we need to take this serious. It'll be coming out in 2 weeks.
Sure enough, they had some cool new stuff.
Not one vehicle release, but 4.
What do you want to drive out of the group?
I don't know. I'm undecided. What are you thinking?
I mean, the Rewind is pretty cool that it actually came to market.
It's so awesome. I actually want to drive a Recon because they just have my attention right now. I think it's kind of cool.
I feel the same. I think I want to go prove an EV is trail rated.
All right. We'll find out.